Sorry, I was correct. Jonathan Brash. A point of order, is it to correct the number of questions that I was right and you were wrong? I hope you're not going for a job at the Treasury. Come on.
Well, this was absolutely hilarious. Now, this is where PMQs did actually make history, where they had the very first black person answering questions. And, well, he was facing that colossal political powerhouse of the Conservative Party, James Cartlidge. Yeah, exactly. Well, he decided to go down the will you apologise about Hadush Kabatu, the illegal immigrant released by accident. Well, the Deputy Prime Minister David Lammy said that, well, he did so last week at an urgent question, if I remember rightly. But Cartlidge demanded that that wasn't good enough, and he should have got on his knees and begged for forgiveness from the parents and from everybody else in this chamber. And then he went on to, show fake outrage for the parents of the girl who was assaulted by this piece of shit. Now, why do I say that? Well, you'll find out later on. He then just went on to ask this interesting question.
Mr. Speaker, these are very serious matters, Mr. Speaker, which is why I want to ask him a further very important question. Can he reassure the House that since Kabatu was released, no other asylum-seeking offender has been accidentally let out of prison?
Deputy Prime Minister.
Well, the House is thankfully quiet, so I'm surprised the honourable gentleman didn't hear me when I said that of course I apologise and I'm sorry for the anxiety caused. But look, let me just remind him that he was a justice minister that allowed our prisons to get to this state in the first place. And it's now for us to fix the mess that we've got into. It's important that Dame Lynn Annals can now continue her work and understand what is happening. He knows that early release has begun under their watch in 2021.
Mr. Speaker, these are extremely serious crimes that we are talking about. I'm going to ask him the question again.
So he did, again and again, and got more irate, saying, will you please fall into my trap I've set for you by guaranteeing that no other asylum-seeking offender has been accidentally let out of prison, so then I can hit you with my zinger. See, the thing is, he clearly lost his way, because then this happened.
Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'm looking forward to being up against the member for Newark next time. In 25 years in this House, I've not witnessed a more shameful spectacle, frankly, than what the party opposite left in our justice system. Their criminal negligence on his watch as a former justice minister. They left our prisons on the brink of collapse entirely, threatening to allow offenders to run wild on our streets. He knows that. Rape victims waiting years for their day in court. He knows that. Neighbourhood policing decimated, leaving our people feeling unsafe in their communities, and they haven't learned a thing. We are tackling knife crime, that's why it's falling. 13,000 more bobbies we are putting on the streets, kicking out 5,000 foreign criminal offenders. I've got to say to the honourable gentleman, he should do better.
Jonathan Brash.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My constituent, Georgia Hart.
More, I got it to 6. James Cartlidge. Order. It is 6. Am I right? 6, you've had your 6. Sorry, I was correct. Jonathan Brash.
Yes, what happened here is, after Lindsay Hoyle had called Jonathan Brash, he jumped up to ask his question, but so did our bell tap, James Cartlidge. So clearly our village idiot had miscounted and thought he had asked 5 questions, but instead he had actually asked 6 of the same question. And on the 6th and final question, you usually go on a bit of a grandstanding, don't you? But he didn't. So that tells me that he had accidentally actually miscounted. Why? Well, if you're going to do a point of order, you won't waste it on this, would you?
A point of order, is it to correct the number of questions that I was right and you were wrong? I hope you're not going for a job at the Treasury. Come on then, James Cartlidge.
It's on a serious issue, I think, Mr. Speaker, just to be clear. The Telegraph are reporting that a police manhunt has been launched for a second asylum seeker mistakenly freed from prison. The question is, Mr. Speaker, can you advise me on how I can ask the Justice Secretary whether he was aware of this when I asked him about it repeatedly in Prime Minister's question?
Yes, for me, that was a bit of a face-saving point of order, because for me, that was supposed to either be part of his grandstanding if David Lammy didn't fall into his trap, or to hit him with it if David Lammy did fall into his trap earlier on in the 6 questions. Now, let's be honest here. I have a funny feeling no government can ever make that guarantee, whatever the political divide, you could say. So for me, that point of order was a bit of a face-saving mission, because he knows he messed up and he clearly miscounted, didn't he? He wasted all of his 6 questions with a serious subject and tried to use it a bit of political point scoring, and made a bit of a pig's ear of it, didn't he? And to make matters worse, from what I've been hearing, especially for Bell-Tap Cartlidge, apparently it wasn't an asylum seeker that was released early. Oh dear. Conclusive proof that these clowns, be it Reform UK or the Conservatives, they really don't care about these victims of these scumbags. To them, they're just collateral damage, aren't they, for their own political ambitions. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below, and I shall bid you farewell and take care, my friends.